Hey guys, Corbin with Respiratory here at Beach Dental. Going to go over just a couple things with the ventilator and actually using our inline suction on the patient. I know that times are tough, so some of us might need to know these skills. First and foremost, here we have a patient with an endotracheal tube here. He's got inline suction hooked up here. Normally this would be hooked up to a suction canister on the wall, and the suction pressure set at about 140 or 150. All right. We don't want to set it on max because too much suctioning with max will cause damage to the airways. We don't want to make these patients go backwards. We want to heal them. Very easy to use. Suction ballard here. It's locked. If you see I'm trying to squeeze it, it won't open. If you pull up and twist a little bit, it'll open it right up, and it even tells you there, if you look, locked, unlocked, twist. So now when I push, I'll actually be activating the suction. Okay? So what we want to do is, normally this section here will be hooked up to the ventilator. So first and foremost, we want to make sure we don't knock that unconnected. We want to keep our patient connected always. So we're going to actually just take our index finger and our thumb, and we're going to advance the catheter down the tube. So we'll advance, we'll advance, we'll advance. And what we're going to do is just advance until you hit a restriction. Sometimes the patient it'll activate a cough, or you just can't, you'll hit an obstruction. As soon as you hit that, I typically pull back just a little bit, and I'll go ahead and suction, squeeze the suction, holding tight here and only moving this hand. I'll just slowly pull back. And we'll slowly pull back, and we're suctioning all the stuff out of the airways in the tube. Vanessa, if you look closely right here, you'll see a black line on the suction catheter. You want to watch that, and as it comes through into the window, you don't want to pull that past the green. That's a no-no. You want to keep the black inside the green. The reason being is if you pull it too far back, it actually creates an opening, and this will fill with air from the ventilator, and it's just a pain. So watch your black thing. As soon as it disappears, you want to stop right there. Don't want to see it in the green over here. You want to see it right in there. Okay? That's how you use the ballard. Before we actually suction, we're going to walk to our ventilator. Here's our ventilator running here. We're going to hyperoxygenate. If you'll notice, let's say somebody is on 40% oxygen. Every time we suction inline, we're going to hyperoxygenate. It'll turn green, and it'll turn this green. Notice 40%, I push the button, 100% oxygen for 2 minutes. I'm going to silence the ventilator, because when you use the suction, it's going to pull all the pressure out, and the ventilator's going to go crazy. So we want to hyperoxygenate, silence the ventilator, come to our patient, advance our tube, holding stable right here, advancing with one hand till we hit obstruction. There might be a cough. Pull back a little bit, suction, and just slowly pull back. You should never be suctioning for more than 10 seconds. When we're done, lock. Easy. A couple things that we want to note, just going over alarms on the ventilator. I know they can be nerve-wracking, sometimes scary, but it's good to know what's going on. If we ever have a disconnection, so let's say our ET tube, for some reason, or our circuit becomes disconnected. We're turning, the patient jerks, something happens, they disconnect. You're gonna see, not that alarm, that alarm. It'll say low minute volume. Disconnect on ventilator side, loss of PEEP, loss of volume, 0, 0, everything. You're not getting to the patient. That means you probably have a disconnect on your ventilator. The best thing to do, start from the left to right. Start at your circuit. If this is the problem, just put it back on. If this is not disconnected, follow down. It could be disconnected on your heaters down here. One spot that's very tricky, sometimes this one becomes disconnected, but it'll sit right there and it looks from the top like it's connected. Reconnect. If it's not here, 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 keep following your circuit. Follow your circuit. Follow your circuit. Follow your circuit. Connected, connected. Sometimes they've straight up become disconnected. Sometimes they've popped off right here. It just depends. You just got to follow your circuit and find it. If you follow all the way from the vent, all the way to your patient, and you don't see it, continue on. Follow down your expiratory limb. Maybe this fell off. Okay? So you're going to see low loss of PEEP, low tidal volume, disconnection, ventilator side, patient side. Either way, you need to start looking for a disconnect somewhere. That's really the major one you need to know.